Hey everyone, I don't really know where this video is going to go. I just wanted to make it for people that follow Endpoint's journey or follow my journey or whatever. And I wanted to be open and honest about, issues that having. Um, they're good issues, I'm going to be honest, but it's still a weird one. I've always found it quite interesting to find the mental side of things of why I feel a certain way or whatever. And I think that it's good to be open about that, especially with the people that support you. So this is me being open about an issue, and you might learn a thing if you want to start a business or looking to get a job in esports. There's a couple of subjects I want to cover in this little video. Um, right, the first thing is it's kind of a weird issue. So for the first 2.5 years or so that I was a part of Endpoint, me and Adam, my business partner, always put in money every single month into Endpoint to pay for wages, or whatever. We felt that for pro teams, we always felt that we should pay, like the Counter Strike especially. If you want to get a top team, you should pay for it, and you should pay it on time as well. So for an issue for me and Adam, that was never an issue. We had a budget. We knew how much we could afford with me being a poker pro and Adam being a software developer. Um, Obviously, it's not an ideal situation, which you can't last for years and years and years and years doing it because if you're always just putting money in and never taking anything out, it's not a great way to make a living or to. It's not very sustainable, shall we say? Um, but we were fine doing it, and in my head, that was always completely fine in terms of I knew what I could afford, and there was no issues there. So you always feel like you hope that at some point you don't have to start putting money in anymore, and you get that big sponsorship deal or investment or whatever, and and happy days. So this year at Endpoint, we've blown up a little bit. I'll be honest, in terms of business and even fan base, and the teams that we've got are unbelievable. The stream team, the staff we've got are great. Um, the issue we're finding, and being completely honest, or I'm finding in my head, we've turned over. Our turnover is 4 times what it was last year, which is crazy to think about, especially during COVID as well, which is just nuts. Um, the issue that I'm having in my head is that when I was putting money in every month, I felt that I could afford it. If it all goes tits up, let's say a sponsorship deal doesn't come in, um, then I could bail it out. It was a safe amount of money for what my savings were or whatever. At this point now, we're turning over so much that let's just say it all goes tits up, then I can't afford to bail everyone out. And I find that kind of worrying in my head a little bit. Even though, trust me, we are secure right now. We have the finances. We've budgeted it properly. We're making sure we do all that well. We've always paid our players on time, our staff on time, and everything. Um, so if you are a staff or player listening to this, you don't have to worry about anything. Um, it's just a weird thing because the business has grown so much that it's kind of now at a stage where it feels out of my control to keep it, at a level where, let's say, a payment didn't come in 1 month, that, like, I can't really bail it out or something along those lines. Um, it's just a weird mental thing in my head that is happening. So I think for, like, in terms of my career of making money, it's always been I've been 12 years as a professional poker player before going full time this year at Endpoint, and I've always had to look after my own finances, which is fine. It's that self-employed thing, which is kind of can be hard to get around, but I've definitely learned and dealt with it well. I think I'm quite good with money. Um, but now I feel that weight of my shoulder of how many people we are employing. We have 15 people we have at a full-time wage, which is kind of nuts to think about with how far we've grown. I mean, 15 full-time wage people, that's kind of crazy, and it's something I'm really proud of, actually, because we are supporting a lot of people in the UK scene and Europe as well, in esports, and it's where esports needs to go, really, to be a market for people to be in. Um, it's that thing, as you're scaling as a business. It's something I never thought I'd have the issue of feeling like it's out of control. It's not out of control, but it's in your head. It's it's getting to astronomical numbers where your revenue's so much that yeah, it just it can snowball, and that's a really good thing to have. It's not something I'm complaining about because I really want Endpoint to grow, and it can grow even more over the next few years. But and I guess you'll never really feel safe unless you get that millions and millions of investment. And I say that now, but I'm sure that, let's say in a year's time or whatever, we get that huge investment. Um, will I have the same issue where I feel like it snowballs even more? I don't know. But yeah, it's just, I just wanted to get that off my chest. It's kind of a again, I want to reiterate that your jobs are completely safe for you at Endpoint, but it's just a weird thing, and I thought people might find it interesting who hadn't thought about it. Um, about the whole snowball effect of when it goes outside of your own money that you're putting in, and you're almost putting in money which you're earning, obviously, and you're getting into the business for a good ROI for the person who's putting it in. I just found it quite interesting. Um, yeah, I mean the next thing I wanted to talk about was we get a lot of people at Endpoint who message us for internships, which I think internships are a really good thing. Obviously, but we also get a lot of people messaging us for volunteer roles, or once the person asks for an internship or whatever, and I say sorry, we haven't got the budget right now. We might be opening up jobs in this amount of time or whatever. Um, a lot of them say, I'm happy to help out, or I can do a volunteer role or whatever. Over the last 4 years of Endpoint, we've with a very very small amount of people we have tried the whole volunteer role. I can categorically say if it's a staff member on a volunteer role, I don't think it works. I think that if you have staff, you should pay them. You should pay them for their time. I think that if you want to grow a business where you don't have a high turnover of staff, and you make it more of a family atmosphere, and you make it someone who wants to actually make a difference in the company and grow, I think that pay is very important. Um, so the volunteer role, I always say no to now, because I think that even if it's a small amount of like financial support, you should pay it as more of a gesture as well than anything, if they don't need the money. But um, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. You will always see that Endpoint pay their staff. I think pro players can be slightly different. I think that it depends where that pro team is, where the game is. Obviously, I would never get someone to sign a contract if they're not getting financial support, really, or there's not a huge amount of lands to support them with, which is basically financial support. If they're going to the land anyway, you are paying for that, or boot camps, or some kind of support. But the staff members, especially, I completely disagree with the volunteer role, and I think it's not right. But yeah, they're my two things I wanted to chat about. Just kind of the interesting effect of a business when it snowballs, and how the money can feel like it's getting out of control, and it's something that I have not encountered before in my life, where you feel like you have, as I said, these 15 people that are full-time wages, and there are more than 15 who are getting financial support, should I say, but it's kind of like that's on the full-time wage there, where I feel like that it's just a weird scenario. I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on it, and if you found this interesting or not. But yeah, just for listening, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.